Ubisoft has made their next move in regards to the Assassin's Creed franchise. No, it's not further elaboration on that stupid Hex project, which is supposed to be set in the time of the Salem witch trials, where you're going to have a couple of lesbian assassins running around getting vengeance for the ones that couldn't swim or failed to float to the top of the river with the rocks in their pockets. No, I'm sure that's just going to be fantastic, or maybe it just ended up getting pushed off into the future. But no, they're looking at the past in order to set the stage for the future. But it's funny, right? Because Assassin's Creed fans, thanks to Ubisoft, just teased the rumored Black Flag remake. It's interesting timing because Ubisoft, like just last year, they just launched a pirate game and they're looking to remake their original pirate game. I find that interesting. How good? Yeah, What are you also not saying right here? What is it? Are you guys focusing specifically on what makes money? Are you guys focusing on 3 specific IPs that you got outside CCP money for? Interesting stuff. Maybe you tipped more than just the potential for a remake with this pseudo announcement, but this is something that probably next week we'll probably get a lot more elaboration on, because Summer Games Fest is next Friday, June 6th, which, what is that? It's just it's something that completely and totally slipped my mind. That's how much and I actually don't care about it. But you have the Nintendo Switch 2 release. That drops next week. I think that's the 4th, right? That come out on Wednesday or something. But yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to sell out immediately, but I want to see the long-term projections on that one, because now that we're getting closer to the release, oh boy, a lot of the news is cooling off, and a lot of people are starting to turn on Nintendo and get wise to their greed. But we could talk about Nintendo at a later date. I'm sure about it. Let's focus on last year's most greedy company and how they're having to reap what they have sown. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag fans believe Ubisoft may have just teased a long-rumored remake in a new social media post. Ubisoft has yet to confirm or deny the rumors that the studio is currently working on a remake of 2013's Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, but a new post on the studio's UK Twitter account is being interpreted by fans as the first potential teaser for the upcoming announcement. And yeah, okay, just taking a look at the success of other studios and other big once successful franchises with their remaster of a 4th installment. Okay, we're talking Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and the fact that absolutely dominated earlier this year, and I think people are still quite happily playing that game. But yeah, I guess Ubisoft is like, well, people have a certain affinity for the 4th game in our franchise, and yeah, I'm somebody who used to love playing those old Assassin's Creed games. I really like the first one. The Ezio trilogy speaks for itself. I think the 3rd one, if you were to recut that, if you were to remaster that, maybe if you just shorten the introduction sequence, probably would have been better received. But when Black Flag came around, that's when I kind of dropped out of Assassin's Creed. I know that that's a lot of people's favorites, and potentially if they do a good job on the remake, I could be encouraged to go back and play it. Or because I have it on PC, I could just go ahead and throw some mods over the top of that and just have a fun time with the original. But yeah, it's the one that I kind of dipped out on, but I know it has a huge fan base, and no, it's not all about me. Rumors of a potential Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake first surfaced in June of 2023, according to a report from Kotaku. Sources who wish to remain anonymous revealed that Ubisoft was in the early stages of developing a remake of the iconic title. The report claimed that the remake was still a couple years out, with Ubisoft Singapore, which is the lead developer, and Ubisoft's other pirate-themed title, Skull and Bones. Yeah, they seem to have some free time on their hands now. Reportedly involved to some degree, almost exactly 2 years on, and Ubisoft has yet to make an official statement or reveals surrounding the rumored remake. If the reports are to be true, though, the wait may soon be coming to an end. And yeah, with Summer Games Fest popping up and them also wanting to obfuscate from the obvious failures of Shadows, this would be a perfect time to announce said remake, okay, to get people back on your side at your most desperate hour. Follow-up report from Insider Gaming claimed that in 2024, the Black Flag remake has been internally delayed beyond its planned 2025 release window. It's unknown how far the remake was pushed back, but fans are beginning to wonder if Ubisoft has just posted the very first teaser for the title, as spotted by The Gamer. A new post, the official Assassin's Creed UK Twitter account, joined in on a popular meme by joking about the re-experiencing Black Flag after losing your memory. With an abundance of critically acclaimed Assassin's Creed titles to choose from, and he believed that there's a clear-cut reason as to why the studio went with Black Flag. Yeah, because it's the one that the people have the most fond memories of, and it's one that you can, well, because it was first one developed for reasonably modern hardware. It's the first Assassin's Creed game to come out on the PS4 exclusively, I think, yeah, no, yeah, I'm pretty sure on that one. At least I got it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I got that with PS4 on launch night. Anyways, so funny, a game that I've never played and I bought, you know, the night that I got my PS4 that I barely played to begin with. Given with the Switch 2 coming around very, very shortly, it being as powerful as a launch PS4, it makes a lot of sense that they would go ahead and put a little bit of effort into something that doesn't really need a lot of work to run on modern hardware, or even a remaster wouldn't even require that much work. Twitter user AC Landmarks calls Ubisoft a tease, while Sultan said, "Why Black Flag out of all of the games?" Adds AC admin. Are you trying to tell us something? Why others chimed in too, such as Nordic, who jokingly responded by saying, "I would love to experience this game the first time again, but better." Of course, Black Flag, yes, is often considered one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever. Yeah, because there's pirate missions, and it's like, no, you want to be an assassin. It's like, no, I want to sail a ship. All right then. There's a strong chance that this is less of a tease and more of a shout out to one of the greatest entries in the franchise. But yeah, I'd imagine we'll probably see something from Ubisoft because, guys, in case you haven't been paying attention over the past year, they've had a little bit of a snag both in public relations and in the financial department. So if they could just simply go ahead and put a new coat of paint on a classic, a verified, certifiable success, they're definitely going to do it, because you take a look at the newest report and Ubisoft assembles a new transformation committee to help Assassin's Creed Studio find a new lease on life. And what would be the perfect way to usher in that new lease on life? By going back to a time when everybody associated Ubisoft with quality, myself included. But yes, let's take a look. Amid a falling reputation and stock price. There we go. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot has reportedly moved to assemble a transformation committee whose main goal it will be to both guide the evolution of Assassin's Creed Studios and help them find a new lease on life. All right. Per an internal Ubisoft email reviewed by French news broadcaster BFM Tech and Co. Okay. Nathan Kokemompo, okay, a 10-person committee, as handpicked by Guillemot, will spend the next 100 days formulating the best way to help the studio recover from the recent string of failures and chart a new direction for their future operations. We have just passed a monumental moment in Ubisoft's history, which, strengthened by this agreement and the success of Shadows. How successful is it? Well, we have so many players. How many sales do you have? There's not as many players, but we'll benefit from the new lease on life, wrote Guillemot, and translated, yeah. Okay, now the future ahead demands a new energy and a passion for games that corresponds to the current moment. Interesting. Yeah, something to really capitalize on the current moment by doing a remake. Notably, one of the committee's members is none other than Guillemot's son, Charlie Guillemot, who will co-lead the group alongside Ubisoft Chief Studios and Portfolio Officer Marie-Sophie de Waubert, okay, having previously served as studio manager for Ubisoft subsidiary House. Developer Oland, Charlie, okay, exited the company in 2021 after his decision to approve the association of Black Lives Matter imagery in the villainous Umbra faction in Tom Clancy's Elite Squad drew massive blowback from the general public. I mean, that's sort of based. All right, okay. I'm not entirely mad about this, but alongside Charlie Guillemot and de Waubert, the Transformation Committee membership will also include Alain Corrie, Executive Director for Europe, Middle East, and Asia Pacific, their Chief Legal Officer, General Manager at Ubisoft Montreal, Assassin's Creed Series Brand Manager, okay, for Black Flag, okay, Origins, Creative Director, all right, VP of Transformation, Co-Founder and current General Manager of Ubisoft Quebec, Chief People Officer, and the SVP, Senior Vice President, okay, of Online Services. Oh, that's very interesting. Not a lot of modern day creatives, huh? That's a tell in and of itself. Pressed by that guy, Talkin' Pot, for comment of his son's surprised return, Guillemot assured the reporter that his son was not leading the committee, but merely one of its members. However, according to an internal email reviewed by the reporter, the CEO seems to have contradicted himself, as he explains therein, to help me bring this new lease of life, I have chosen to propose to my son, Charlie Guillemot, to participate in the reflections around this transformation of our brands and studios. Together with Marie-Sophie de Waubert, he will be responsible for the transformation committee. Yeah. Oh, wow, it's another day, and it's another opportunity for Yves Guillemot to lie about something. Congratulations, big shock. Yeah, to just put a bow on this, in addition to the vague goal of helping revitalize Ubisoft's operations, Cock and Pot reports that the Transformation Committee will also be responsible for further guiding the Assassin's Creed developers' intent, as they confirmed their full year 24-25 earnings report to undertake a fixed cost reduction of at least 100 million euros to be achieved over the next 2 years. Interestingly, yes, the 100 million euro savings ordered was handed down by the company had already reported 2024 annual savings total of 200 million euros, as achieved by shutting down 3 of their global studios, including UK-based Leamington Studio, Ubisoft Reflections, as well as Dusseldorf Stockholm Support Studios, formerly Blue Byte. So yes, they very much have a purpose for being there. Okay, figuring out what they're going to be doing with Assassin's Creed moving forward and how they're ultimately going to end up trimming the fat from the company. So yeah, when it comes to a potential sequel, even though they set up for it at the tail end of it, but yeah, Star Wars Outlaws 2, don't really see that happening. But do I think that there's potential out there for a Black Flag remake to go ahead and boost the morale of the Assassin's Creed team? Oh, you bet your bottom dollar on that, and I'd imagine we'd be hearing something about that in the very, very near future. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.